Today is Monday, May 12th, 2025, at approximately 11 minutes after 1 in the afternoon here in the fine Icelandic world of Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm just headed off to get some blood work drawn because I've had my annual checkup a couple weeks ago. My doctor wanted me to get some blood work just to check all my levels. But I know many of you have asked, where did you go? Where'd all your content go? We tried to find you and you're gone. And there's a little bit of a story behind it. I'll tell you all about what's going on here. So I've been on YouTube now for, I think it's going on 20 years. In 2026, it'll be 20 years. And when I first started to stream and do all the stuff, make videos on YouTube, another yoga pant wearing woman, hello yoga pant woman. I just did it for fun. Maybe one video every couple of months, maybe once a year. It was just a music video, something to promote music that I put out. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I just knew you could put videos up and it was fun, and I just tossed stuff up there. I get like 20 views, now be it. And so I kind of gave up on it. I figured out what the heck, it's never going to amount to anything. And then about 10 years ago, I found out I had just been, I hadn't been paying attention to YouTube, and I discovered you could make money with it through monetization. So I started to make more videos. I started to improve my cameras and my microphones and lights and all that stuff. And I did all the things, and I started to make money and started to get more views. And I started talking about call centers, and I started to get tens of thousands of views. And I started to make a little bit of money. Like at first it was like $20 a month. And then as things progressed and I got more viewers and I got more views and I got more subscribers, it became $50 a month. And then just recently it became like $150 a month. And then one day I logged in, I was doing really good. Then all of a sudden my monetization just tanked. It's dropped. My monetization is dropped by 50%. Well, it's actually right around 43% it's dropped. No rhyme, no reason to it. It's just all of a sudden, I guess advertisers aren't interested in advertising on my channel. Not me personally. I don't think it's anything to do with me as a person or as a creator. I think it's just my content. And what it comes down to is, as a creator who wants to talk about wants to discuss topics that are truth-based instead of creating content that just numbs you and makes you escape from reality, I try to create stuff that makes people think and uncover the lies about corporate world. And the problem with that is the corporate world is YouTube. YouTube is corporate. Google is corporate. And advertisers that advertise on here are corporate. Pharmaceutical companies and erectile dysfunction and all that stuff. So they're not going to be exactly happy to advertise on my videos if they, I don't know how it works, but the algorithm susses that I'm a truth channel, and truth doesn't pay. Lying pays, fantasy pays, numbing the masses pays. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to be one of these creators that just goes up there and creates cutesy poo stuff just to get clicks and just to make money. I don't want to exploit everybody for it. And that's the way I've always approached my art. All my art I create, I don't create it with an audience in mind. My music is not popular because of that. I don't try to craft it towards the modern sound. My sound is very old-fashioned. That's where I grew up. That's what I like. That's what I'm comfortable with. The paintings I paint are the things that I find interesting. I'm not going to paint a bunch of garbage. I'm not going to paint a goldfish in a beer bottle floating in the ocean because somebody might go, oh, look at the goldfish in a beer bottle in the ocean. I got to buy that. Oh. So what had happened here on my channel is I saw that I think I had like 1,400 videos on this channel. 1,400. And most of that has been created within the last 10 years. So over the last 10 years, I have created 3/4 of my content, invested thousands of dollars in cameras and lights and lenses on my, all kinds of money's gone into this. And the algorithm doesn't like me for some reason. It doesn't want to pay me. The monetization platform doesn't want to fork over the dough for my quote truth unquote channel. And so I thought maybe if I revamped my channel, maybe if I got rid of the majority of the videos, maybe if I hid them, maybe if I made my channel look more compact, more tight and neat, maybe I would be doing myself a favor, and maybe I'd rise in the rankings or something like that. I don't know. But I also know there were videos on there that some of them have only gotten 30 or 40 views in 15 years. Some of my music videos and some of my promotional videos for my music just have gone nowhere. And so the bottom line is I had like 1,400 videos. I put my channel, I hid my channel, I hid the YouTube channel. Because what that does is it makes all of your videos private. So all 1,400 of my videos, all my playlists, everything was private. And I went through and meticulously selected the videos I wanted to be viewable. So now there's like 350 videos that are viewable. Most of it's call center content, because I think a lot of viewers came to my channel, or the algorithm would come to my channel and go, what's this channel about? And that's what all the research I had done through ChatGPT and everything said. They said, well, your channel's kind of a amalgamation of so many different topics. I think that the algorithm gets confused as to where to put you. And that's part of the issue, because I had music videos and how-to videos and rant videos and call center videos and the world sucks videos, and this is how to look at this, and this is what the media is trying to do to you, and there was a podcast, and it was all fractured. So I went hidden to try to reorganize the channel so it was more uniform in its presentation. And I don't know, I've only had it visible again for a couple of days. It's kind of the same story though, nothing has really changed. But I need a few days, probably a few weeks to a few months to see if there's any change in it. But you know, I think the bottom line is I've kind of made my bed and I got to sleep in it, because you know I've created a channel that's basically anti-corporate, and you know the corporate giants don't want to advertise on a channel that contradicts their pablum. So it's back now, and I thank each of you who were concerned and wondered where I went. And it's back now. I'll be making more content tonight. I've kind of stopped making content for this channel. I've kind of decided that there were other things I wanted to do, like my Midnight Mutant Theater channel. It takes a lot of time to comment on old sci-fi movies. So check out that channel, Midnight Mutant Theater. I'm on there as Zontarsky, where I'm a monster movie host where I critique old movies, old monster and sci-fi movies. This June, I'm going to be going to the hospital for a couple of days for a procedure, and I'm not going to be around probably for a couple weeks after the procedure. I'll be in the hospital for 2 days, and then the recovery time is about 3 weeks. And I don't think I'm going to feel much like making videos. Maybe if I'm laying on the couch or something, I will. So I may toss off a couple, but I personally have never had surgery before. I've had things removed. I had like a lump removed from my head that was just in and out stuff, where the dermatologist cut a hole open my scalp and removed a growth. And I've had, planters removed my foot, but it was all localized. I wasn't under general anesthesia. And I've never gone through anything like this, and I'm concerned because I've never had surgery where they go into my body. And I had a friend from high school, a wonderful guy named Matt. I didn't speak to him too much since college. He and I went to high school together. We'd known each other since 4th grade. We went to Ohio University together. I didn't see him that much at OU, but I just know he was a great guy with a great character, funny guy, positive guy. And then one day he went into one of the hospitals around here for a basic procedure, and he coded right in the table, and they couldn't bring him back. So, while the likelihood of that happening with the procedure I'm having done is unlikely, Who knows? And that's something that, we all have to face. Our mortality is a very serious issue. I guess it's as serious as you want to make it, When I was younger, I never thought about dying. It never occurred to me. Never crossed my mind. But now that I'm pushing 60, you do wonder how much time you got left, because, most of my family didn't live much beyond 80. So my time is limited. Yes, all of our time is limited on this planet. Our time is limited. And so if I disappear after June, late June, and I'm never back on here again, I may pre-record an epitaph, my own epitaph, and say goodbye to everybody, just in case. I'll schedule it for like August or something, so it'll come up and I'll say goodbye to everybody just in case. I know it sounds morbid, but I'm quite comfortable with the idea of passing away, because I almost died when I was 10. And, I was in a coma for about a week, and I had a virus called Rye syndrome. And I woke up in this hospital, at University Hospitals in Cleveland, and I had no idea what was going on. I was out of it, and my family standing around the bed, and they're all wearing gowns and masks and things like that. And I didn't recognize anybody but my father, oddly enough. I saw his eyes peering out over the surgical mask, and I'm like, "Hi, Dad." And I'm kind of like, "What the hell am I doing here?" And everyone's like, "Well, you're real sick, Pete. You're in a coma, and, you almost didn't make it, and we're so glad you're awake now." And everyone was freaking, my mother especially, of course. I'm her son and all that stuff. But I'm like, just chill. I'm thinking, this is no big deal. I could have died. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get really that upset about it. Not that I didn't like life. I was 10 years old. I was loving life. I was watching monster movies and playing Army and hunting for fossils and listening to Beatle records. And I don't know. Everybody was upset that I almost died. And so I've almost experienced it once. And I'm kind of excited to see what it's like on the other side. They all talk about what it's like on the other side. They've got all these people that allegedly have come back from a near-death experience, and some people have good experiences, some people have bad experiences. I don't know. But I'm over here at a clinic to get some blood work done, the paperwork here. So I appreciate those of you who have shown concern about my channel and wonder where I went. YouTube is a corporation, and they are in business to make money. They're not in business to make me famous. They're not in business to pay me money. And I've noticed that since I started saying stuff like that on here, that's where the monetization has gone downhill. So, but it's the truth. Your average creator on here doesn't make much, if any, money, myself included. The people who make the real money, it appears that they're people who just create pablum. Watch this cat do backflips over, a bunch of bouncy balls or something, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's genius." There's other people here that have millions of subscribers, big names. I don't know if they make any money because they're truthers. The truthers that I watch, I think they've all been demonetized. They're going after Russell Brand with a fervor, bringing up allegations from 40 years ago and stuff. This guy, I don't know what the truth is, but I think they're conjuring stuff up to silence people, because the truth doesn't sell. The truth undermines their agendas out there. So, but here I am at a lab, and the funny thing is I'm not scared of dying. I just don't want to go in for the surgery. And because the problem I have is once they start cutting parts of your body away and off and tossing them into the trash, there's no getting that part back. It doesn't grow back. We're not like, amphibians that our tails grow back and stuff like that. And I spent the better part of the last 5 years trying to find a better way to do this without surgery. I've tried every metaphysical and natural healing way to get this situation in my body taken care of, and nothing's worked. I've tried vitamins and minerals and diet changes and weight loss and everything you can think of. And nothing's worked. And unfortunately, while I don't believe in doctors and I don't like doctors, if I don't get this taken care of, my life could take a turn for the worse. And my quality of life has not been really good for about 5 years because of this condition I have. And this doctor vows that this procedure that I'm getting will improve my quality of life and probably make it pretty good for the next 10 to 15 years. And that could be the remaining part of my life. I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to be fatalistic, but my family, nobody in my family lives that long. I mean, some of their conditions, some of their illnesses were self-induced. My father was murdered by his girlfriend when he was 62. So that doesn't really count, but his lifestyle played a part in that, his own demise. His lifestyle and the people he hung out with is what eventually killed him. It wasn't drinking, but it was the woman he was hanging out with. That I think my dad liked him trashy. My dad liked trashy broads. My mother wasn't a trashy broad. Anything, I swear. One reason their marriage didn't work, Dad needed a trashy broad and my mom was classy. I mean, she could have been loose too, I don't know. We didn't talk about stuff like that. So, I've got to do this. I can find no other way out of the situation I'm in. And down the road, you know, I'm having the procedure late in June. So I probably won't be making videos from end of June, probably till the end of July. So if I do disappear, my channel will still be here, but I won't be making videos unless I happen to, you know, toss a couple off laying on the couch. So that's what's been going on with me, and my channel is back. Thank you all for watching. You know, the best way you can support this channel and help it succeed is watching it, sharing it with people, subscribing, and giving it a thumbs up. If, you know, you're not capable of doing that, that's fine. You know, I usually thumbs up everybody I watch, unless it's somebody I just can't stand. And, you know, there's a guy today that was talking about the algorithm here on YouTube. And the guy had a 20-minute video, and I'd watched 10 minutes of it. He still hadn't gotten to the point. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to go get my labs done. And enjoy each day that you've got while you're healthy. Because I know if you're young and you watch this, you won't listen to this, because I wouldn't listen to it when I was younger. But one day things change. One day things change. And your life is never the same again with your health. I've seen it with everybody in my family. My brother closest to me in age, was just diagnosed with Parkinson's. Nobody in our family's ever had it. He thinks it might have been induced by a factory that was constructed near his house that he and his wife lived in. And he just had a hip replacement, and he's only a few years older than me. He's only like 7, 8 years older than me. So it changes, and your life changes, and whether you can drive or not drive, how mobile you can be. You have to plan your whole day around certain ailments. I see it with my wife. My wife is now sick with MS and epilepsy. It's funny, this lady's trying to get her hatch to work by kicking underneath the bumper, and it's not working, and she's getting frustrated. She's like kicking the bumper, trying to get the hatch to go up. You gotta find things to laugh at. All right, guys, I'm gonna go, and I gotta work up the courage to get this lab work done, because I don't like getting blood draws. So I'll see you soon. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.